Hello, BookTube. Hello, friends. Welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth. And good morning, or whatever time it is when you are watching this video. For me, it is morning. It is 8:30 a.m. on October 24th. It's a Saturday. And for me, in this time zone, which is Eastern time zone in the United States, it is... Well, we are 30 minutes into the Dewey's 24-hour readathon, and I have already listened to one book. It was my shortest book on my Audible Escape reading wish list, and I will tell you about that in just a minute. But I wanted to just give you an intro here. I am planning to vlog all day and through this 24 hours and possibly a little more into tomorrow, because if you saw my Friday reads yesterday, you know that I have 30 short books on my Deweys TBR for this weekend. They are all on the Audible Escape package, which is ending on November 1st, and I just decided to lump all of these little short novellas into one weekend and try to knock as many of them out as I can. I have already listened to 20 full-length, mostly full-length books, well, some 4-ish hours and up to like 12 hours, I don't know. Anyway, I've listened to 20 books this month so far on Audible Escape, and I have at least 10 or 11 more after I get done with these 30 that I really want to get to. So let's just get these done, and I don't want to waste too much time. I still have my morning voice, so I haven't cleared my throat good this morning. But I'll fill you in with what I'm doing along the way. I'm not just going to be reading today. I am going to be working in my garage, cleaning up and reorganizing for the next yard sale. We had a yard sale last Saturday, and everything is still where it's sitting. It's still out on tables, and I've got to sort, organize, get that done. And also, Katie and, well, really our whole family is doing the 80-day 6-fix challenge, which started on October 12th. I wasn't super successful the first week because it was before the yard sale, and I was just focused on the yard sale. But now I've been focusing on it more this week, and I've kind of figured out a basic pattern for getting it all done if I start early enough. So I am going to go now and walk, and probably walk for at least 45 minutes while I listen to probably 2 more short audiobooks as I go. I've already got them downloaded. And then I'll come back and rest for a few minutes and then do my 30-minute workout. And instead of doing a video workout today, I'm just going to keep listening to an audiobook while I'm working out. And, you know, I'm over 50. In fact, I'll be 56 next week, and, or, yeah, a week from tomorrow. So, you know, my workouts are not the same as a 20-year-old workout. I'm not probably going to show you any of that, but I am going to do some stretching in a minute before I go walk, and then do some kind of aerobic exercise for this 6-fix challenge. All the while, for the whole day, we're supposed to drink a gallon of water. And I've already done my quiet time this morning, which was also one of the things, to do a 10-minute quiet time, and I usually do more than that. I've already done my Bible reading before 8 o'clock. I read a page out of my Journey magazine, which is a devotional magazine for women, and a page out of my Year with C.S. Lewis book. And then I already read 3 little chapters in Don't Sweat the Small Stuff in Love, and half a chapter in Time Began in a Garden by Emily Barnes. Those are my 2 nonfiction books I'm reading right now. And last night, between midnight and 1, I read a chapter of this. I've been trying to read 3 chapters a day, and I had read my 3 chapters for yesterday, so I thought I'll go ahead and get a jump start on today's. And so I still want to try to squeeze in 2 more chapters. Maybe if my ears just start hurting, start ringing from listening to audiobooks, I'll take a few minutes and read a little bit of this. But if I don't get back to it, I'll just catch up tomorrow or whenever. So I have read something in all of my print books today, and I don't currently have anything going on my phone. I'm in between, and the only other thing I have I'm in the middle of is an audiobook in my car. So I'm not planning on going anywhere today, so that one I will not be making progress in that one today. But I'm going to get, I say 30. I'm not going to get 30 done in this 24-hour period, because while some are under an hour, most of them are not. And even at double speed, I've added up the hours, and it's going to definitely take me at least 2 days to get them done. But let's just see how many I can get done today. So it'll be fun. So I have basically downloaded or borrowed the 10 shortest ones that aren't connected with any series. And then the next 10 I do are going to be Christmas novellas. And then the other 10 are longer, some that are more like 3 hours in length, and just odds and ends. There's just a whole variety. But the 3 that I'm starting with are the shortest, and I think they are all Amish themed. So let me show you the first one that I've already listened to quickly before I go to walk. Okay, the first book that I listened to this morning I started it at 8:03, and it is 35 minutes long, but I listened to it on 2 times speed. This is Amish Summer by Deidre Scott, narrated by Lucy Carroll, and it was 35 minutes long if I had listened, well, it would have been 35 minutes long if I had listened to it on regular speed. So this was about a young woman, I think she was 19, and she was having some nightmares and bad memories of her early life. She'd been born in the English world, and at age 10 was adopted by an Amish family, but she was having some flashbacks and things to her life prior to coming into the Amish world. And then she has an encounter with her birth mother, and it kind of goes from there. So it's about reconciliation, forgiveness, and just moving on from a bad past experience. So that is all I really can tell you about that, because it's only 35 minutes long. I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I don't really know a way to do this. I was going to film this on my old camera, and I realized that the quality was going to be even worse than this. So this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to try to show you the covers, pull them up on my old phone, and film it on my current phone, and we'll just go from there. Okay, so now I'm going to go and stretch a little bit, and then I'm going to go outside and walk. I have 2 more of my really short books downloaded. I may go ahead and download 1 more because I don't want to run out of books while I'm out walking. But the 2 that I will listen to next are both Amish books, both under an hour, I think around 40 minutes each. One is called A Tainted, oh goodness, A Tainted Spring, and then the other one is called Amish Wishes. So I will let you know about those when I get back. And now I am going to go and stretch and walk. We'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, it is already 9 o'clock, and I am out in my backyard getting ready to head out the gate to walk. I seriously had planned to be done walking far, just walk around the neighborhood, but my goal is to get in between 4,000 and 5,000 steps during this walk. I have already logged in only like 330 for the morning so far. So I am going to go now and walk and listen to some audiobooks, and when I get back, or at some point on the way, I may stop and tell you about whichever one I finish next. The one I'm starting right now is called Amish Wishes. I've already listened to a few minutes of that while I was doing my stretching. And when I get that done, I will tell you about it. I'm definitely starting to sweat now. I'm at about 3,300 steps, and I just finished Amish Wishes. I actually finished it twice. I realized that I had only really tuned in to about the first half, and so I just went back and listened to it on 3 times speed just to kind of hear the ending again, and I did not care for it. It was really not what I would call an Amish book. It was more like an Amish girl who has dreams of, being English, or at least, I don't know. And I feel like the way it ended, I don't know. It was so short that you didn't really know what was going to happen. But I feel like it did not really hold true to, I mean, I don't know. It just didn't hold true to an actual Amish romance. So anyway, I mean, not that there was anything wrong with it. It just didn't feel right. So I didn't particularly enjoy it. The next one I'm going to listen to is A Tainted Spring, and hopefully I'll have it done by the time I get home. Okay, so I'm back at my house, and I hit 5,000 steps, and I just finished Tainted Spring. It was by Nicole Porter, I believe, and I think I rated it 3 stars. I didn't really care for it either. It was just a little too convenient. I mean, I know you can't do a lot in a 40-minute audiobook, but I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way at first, but I don't want to go into it. I might tell you a little bit more about it later. But anyway, I'm glad I got my steps in. I'm going to rest for a few minutes and then do my workout. And then let me turn the phone the right way. See my garage down there? I'm going to open that up and I'm going to clean up and sort and all the leftovers from the yard sale that we had last week while I'm listening to some more audiobooks. So I'll see you in a little bit. I forgot to mention that I was going to eat breakfast. I haven't eaten anything today. I've just had a little bit of coffee and some water. And lately, especially during this 80-day 6-fix, while I've been trying to eat better, I have been mostly doing an Atkins diet. But for the morning, my husband started doing this a while back after we read the Fit for Life book. They suggest that you eat only fruit in the morning and then don't mix it with other foods and don't eat it after other foods because fruit is digested faster than other foods. So during this 80-day 6-fix, I have been making a valiant effort to only eat fruit in the morning. So I'm fixing a smoothie. I've put grapes and blueberries and strawberries and some peaches in here, and I'm going to add a little bit of juice to it. And I'm going to have that right now. I sort of consider that my first breakfast. And then I might have my eggs and bacon later since that's completely acceptable on Atkins and keto. And that'll kind of be more at lunchtime. Hi, I'm back. I am sitting here at my kitchen table with our cat Boots. He's waiting for me to give him one of these squeeze-ups. I normally would not let him on the table, but this is the best way to give him one of these. He's 13 years old, and a lot of his teeth are broken out, and he will still eat some dry food, but he's been losing weight, and he will not eat canned food. He's so spoiled. So anyway, we found these squeeze-ups, and you just tear off the top, and they can lick off the top as you squeeze it out, and it's pretty cool. So I'm going to give him that in a minute. But I've been sitting here updating my Goodreads, finishing my 4th book, and drinking my smoothie. So now I am going to go and get Emily up because she's still asleep, and she needs to have her seizure medicine, before it gets any later. It's 11 o'clock, and I finished the first 3 I finished were under an hour, and those were all supposedly Amish books, although not your typical Amish books, at least a couple of them, and I've already done little reviews of those on Goodreads. And then this 4th book was called Mail Order Bride, A Little Child Shall Lead Her. And I looked up this author. The author is Vanessa Carvo, and she has a lot of mail order bride stories. And this particular one was a little confusing because about half of it was backstory of the bride, and then some of it was about the father and his daughter, and kind of what led both of them to this point. The little girl was traumatized because of seeing her mother shot, and so the father is thinking just to advertise for basically someone to help take care of her, and then a romance ensues. But anyway, it wasn't bad. It was, I'm guessing the time frame of most of these mail order bride kind of things are 1800s, and I had not read anything by this author before. I don't remember seeing anything else by her on Audible Escape. She has, if you go on Goodreads, she's got a long list of mail order bride stories, but I might look and see if there's any others on Audible Escape, and if I have time to listen to anything more that's not already on my wish list. But anyway, I am next going to listen to a set of 4 books that are from a series called Sheriff Bride, and those are by different authors. I think it's a series of 5, but they're not connected very well on Goodreads or Audible. I think they're connected a little bit better now than they were when I first found the one that I have read before. It was a Christmas themed book, and I listened to it for one of the category when I was doing the category challenge, which I'm now done with. And I realized then that there were other stories, and that you know, I could tell I was listening to it and I thought, okay, I kind of get what's going on, but I feel like I'm missing something. Well, it's because there's 4 other stories. So I'm going to listen to those 4 stories. And I think the one I listened to is actually number 5. So I might go back and listen to it again. All of them are between an hour and less than 3 hours. So, like, I think the longest one, well, the longest one is the first one, and it is 3 hours, and then the rest of them are under 3 hours. So that will take me a little while, and I'm gonna I still haven't done my workout. This takes me half a day or more to get all of this 6 Fix challenge stuff done, and that's okay though. I'm getting in shape, and it's important for me to get healthier. So that is what I'm going to do next, and then that will make a total of, let's see, I already listened to 4, so that's the next 4. I've got 2 others that are contemporary second chance romance kind of stories, and then I will take all 10 of those out of my Audible library and bring in the next 10. So we'll see you in a little while. Before I get any farther along, I want to show you the covers of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th books. This was the 2nd book I finished, Amish Wishes by Jessica Penn, narrated by Michael Stura. It was 40 minutes long at regular speed. The next one was probably my least favorite of the morning so far, Tainted Spring by Nicole Porter, narrated by Leslie Howard, and it is 43 minutes long at regular speed. And then probably my favorite so far of the 4 I've listened to this morning, A Little Child Shall Lead Her, a Christian mail-order bride romance by Vanessa Carvo, narrated by Joe Smith. This is an hour and 15 minutes long at regular speed. And this cover is not on Goodreads. There are a couple of different covers and even a couple of different titles for the same story. But this little girl is part of the cover of the one that I used on Goodreads for my review. But anyway, if you're looking for this cover, it's only on Audible apparently. Hey, I'm back in front of my house. I'm going to take another short walk. I'm at about 5,500 steps, and I'd like to get past the 6,000 mark before I take a shower. And I think by that point, if I can get close to 6,000, then I can just finish up the rest of my steps just in normal everyday activities. So I'm in the middle of Sheriff Bride by Teresa Isley, and I'm really enjoying it. It is, sorry about our street is very noisy. There's a ballpark at the end of our street, and it's Saturday, so everyone is coming and going. Anyway, I should have done this inside. Sheriff Bride is really fun. It's about these 4 young women who have been raised very sheltered, but their father was apparently, you know, a piece of work and not a godly man. Their mother was, and she taught them, obviously this is a Christian story, she taught them about the Lord, and so they've still grown up very sheltered, but with a father who wanted boys and only had 4 girls. So he taught them how to shoot and just be very able to take care of themselves. So he gets hired to be the sheriff, and then he dies before he can go and take the job. So they take the money that was sent for their father and go to the town and volunteer to be sheriffs themselves, like all 4 of them. And so it's just pretty funny, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So anyway, there are, I guess, 3 or 4 more stories that have to do, like, each one of the girls and their romances. So I don't know if there'll be much of a romance in this one, but there may be. I don't know. We'll see. So I have about an hour left, and I'm listening to it at more than 2 times speed. So maybe I can get it done while I'm on this last little walk before I take a shower. Okay, so it's about 1:30 now. I did not get to take my second walk yet because I ran back in the house after I did that last clip. And Emily was up and wanting something to eat, so I fixed her something to eat, and then I thought, well, I'll just take her on my walk with me. And what I've been really discovering lately is that because she hasn't done much physical activity, she is just very stiff and not really able to do a lot of exercises. So she hasn't been doing physical therapy in a while. She's been doing OT and speech. So I think I am going to put in a request for her to go back to doing physical therapy. So Katie and I spent a few minutes with her trying to help her do some stretches. So now she's with me. Can you see her? And we're going to do a quick walk so that she can get in a few steps, and I will hopefully get up to like 6,000 by the time I take my shower. So we're going to take it slow on this walk and probably just go to the end of the block and back with Emily. And I forgot to mention before that I did do my workout, and I did for the second time a video from a channel called Fabulous 50s. The video I did today was different, and it was a low impact 30-minute workout, and I loved it. It was so good. It was perfect for me. And so I'm definitely going to do it again. I will link her channel below. I think the lady's name is Shelly, and she's just beautiful and does some great videos. So I have done now 2 different videos by her. Actually, I've watched 3. I watched one that had some makeup tips for people, with mature skin. And then I forget now what was the first one I did. There was a workout. It was, I think, like a morning stretch or something like that. And she does a great job and just seems to really understand, even though she's in much better shape than me, she just seems to understand where we're coming from. The other workout that I've been doing the 3 days prior, I did some Richard Simmons, because when we first started this challenge, Katie wanted me to do some stuff with her, which I'm willing to, but all of the stuff that she could do or wanted to do was, pretty high impact. It's stuff for, young people. And I used to do that stuff when I was young. I'm not young anymore, and I'm so out of shape. And I said, maybe I could work up to some of that. But right now, in the shape I'm in, I have got to just start where I am and work into something harder. So that's what I appreciated about the Richard Simmons workouts. I did some sweat into the oldies and things like that. And, he has overweight people in his videos, and at the very end of the ones that I watched, it told how much weight some of them had lost and things like that. And so I just appreciated that, because I felt like it was also coming from where I am, and it wasn't just a bunch of skinny, in-shape people showing me how to do stuff that I'm not able to do yet. So that was good. And the thing with Richard Simmons, though, he's so corny, which is fun. It makes it fun, but he switches activities pretty quickly. He does a lot of repetitive things, but, the combinations you have to remember if you're going to follow along. And so I think you need to watch them and do them a few times to really get the hang of it. But this lady I did today, Shelly, I think Shelly Fowler is her name, but the channel is Fabulous 50s. I really liked how she did hers, because every time she would do a different exercise, like a different thing, then in between she would walk it out for 30 seconds. So each exercise was for 30 seconds, and then she would walk for 30 seconds in place. And it gave you time to sort of, regroup and be ready mentally for the next thing, which I thought was great. And so I really did enjoy that. Anyway, we're just taking a little leisurely walk down to the end of our block and back, and we're going very slow. I am already sweating as it is, and we're going at Emily's pace. So I'm going to go back to my story now. I want to finish Sheriff Bride so that I can then listen to the separate stories of each of the sisters before I start something else. And after I finish this walk, then once I get Emily settled into some kind of activity, then this will be hopefully the end of my sweating for the day, and I'll go take a shower, and then I've got to get to work in the garage. But I don't think that will be too strenuous, but I'll have to keep my phone on me so that I can keep adding to my steps. And by the way, the workout that I didn't count steps. I laid my phone down because you're not supposed to count for the 6 Fix challenge. Your workout is supposed to be separate from your steps. so I didn't count the steps in that. So we're now at the end of our block, and we're going to turn around, and I'm going to listen to my book. Emily and I finished our walk to the end of the block and back, and now I am going to go walk just a little bit more. I'm still a couple hundred steps short of 6,000, so I'm going to walk to the other end of the block and back. These are some sandhill cranes. They frequent the neighborhood quite a bit. They're very common here in Florida. There are a couple more down the street. I don't know if you can see them there, but they just walk around eating, finding what they can to eat. Sometimes they get in the street and we have to slow down and, honk the horn and get them to move out of the street. But basically, I think they're a lot of fun. I always enjoy seeing. I got to show you this because it's calling my name. And this is red velvet fudge. I've been doing all these, workouts and everything today and walking. And now here I'm going to eat a tiny piece of fudge. But it's okay. It's calling my name. And it's not something we have laying around the house all the time. Katie started working at a candy store a few months ago. And this past week, she learned how to make fudge. Up to this point, she'd been scooping ice cream and making shakes and all that. And so this was from her first batch that she made, but there were a few slabs of it that were too soft to sell. So she got to bring some of them home, and we have been sampling it. I have never tried red velvet fudge up to this point because I thought it was going to be the same as red velvet cake, which I'm not a fan of. But this is actually strawberry flavored, and then it's got some white chocolate on the top. So it's actually very good, and I'm going to have just a little tiny piece, and then I'm going to go put some laundry in, and then I'm going to get to the garage and get... Okay, so it is about 6:30 p.m., and I have finished books 1 through 4 in the Sheriff Bride series. There is a 5th book. I listened to it couple of years ago maybe, and I didn't rate it very high because I didn't really know what was happening, and it wasn't real clear in the description that it was the 5th book in a series. So I think since it's not very long, I'm going to go back and listen to it again. But meanwhile, I still have 2 more books checked out right now in my library, and I'm going to go ahead and finish those, and then I might go ahead and before I check out all the Christmas ones, well, I guess it is a Christmas one, so it will fit the theme of my next group. It is a Christmas story, so that'll be good. And this is the first one, Sheriff Bride by Teresa Ives Lilly, and she had a co-writer, Shelby Ann Lilly, so I'm wondering if that's maybe her daughter or something. It is narrated by Deb Thomas. It is 3 hours and 2 minutes, and I like this one. I actually rated it 5 stars. It's about 4 sisters who come to town to be sheriffs. Their father was originally hired to be the sheriff of Waterhole, Texas, and the father dies right after he's offered the job. So the girls come to town, and of course, everybody, it's like the 1800s, and so everyone's like, you can't be the sheriff, you're female, you're women, and all that, and they prove them wrong. They're actually very strong female characters. This first story is about the oldest one, Sam, or Samantha, and her romance, and then there are 3 more, there's one more about each of the sisters, and then I can't remember who the 5th book is centered around. But anyway, let me show you the covers of, well, I'll show you the covers of the rest of them. I must have accidentally gone to the wrong page. Well, anyway, they're basically, each one features a female with a cowboy hat on. That's what the covers basically look like. And the second one is Joe's story. I believe her name was Josephina. And all of them have names that can be shortened to boys' names. That was the idea that their father had because he wanted boys. He didn't want girls. And the separate stories were not quite as good as the first book. I really, really enjoyed it, but these were still very enjoyable. I can't even remember now what happens in this one, but basically they're Christian stories about these 4 sisters who are sheriffs in this little town. So that's pretty much all you need to know. Let's see, the next one is by Cheryl Williford. It's Dan's story, or Daniela, something like that. It was narrated by Cindy Killavey. I didn't even pay attention when she said her name, I'm sorry. And it was 2 hours and 41 minutes. I neglected to give you the info on Joe's story, 2 hours and 44 minutes. It was by Brooksy Cox, narrated by Deb Thomas. And then the fourth one is Dan's story. No. Joe's story. What? Oh, dear. I've gotten them all mixed up now. Which one? Oh, Rob. That was it. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Rob's story by Joy Copeland. I wonder if she's related to Lori Copeland. It would be interesting. Narrated, to know that. I don't know. I mean, it could be just completely coincidental. And it was narrated by Amy Pasteur, 1 hour and 50 minutes. So just under 2 hours, and this one was cute. So anyway, I enjoyed those. Sometime later, after I finish these others, I'm going to go back and listen to the Christmas one, because I don't even remember anything about it, and I remember thinking, I don't know what's going on. I don't know these characters. Now I know the characters, and I really like them. They're just really strong female characters. So I'm excited about that. So I mentioned that it was 6:30. So what have I been doing all day other than listening to audiobooks? Well, I did finally make it out to my garage and work a little while out there. And then Katie reminded me that I promised to make a quiche. So I came back inside, I got the quiche made, and while it was in the oven, I cleaned the kitchen. So now Randy's almost home and dinner's ready, so that's a good thing. And I'm going to go back out to the garage and work until I just, get tired of it. So jobs like that I don't want to do, I have to just trick myself into working a little bit at a time, even if I set a timer. Or in the case of today, since all these books are short, I might say, okay, this next book is 1.5 hours, so I'm going to work until this book is done, and then I'll come back and report and go from there. So the next two books are second chance romances. In fact, I listened to the introduction of one of them. One of them is called Laura's Secret, and the other is Melissa's Secret. I believe Laura's Secret is by Cara Santabell, and Melissa's Secret has a different author. They have identical covers, and these are the only two that I could find. I don't think there's any more in the series. If there are, I can't find them. And I'm pretty sure it said in the introduction that it's a second chance sports secret baby romance. So we'll see how that goes. I don't even know where I found this. I don't remember what category it was in. It was just a really short novella. I don't remember if it's a Christian book or not, but we shall soon find out. And now it is 4 in the morning. I have been napping some, and I've been back up for a little while and started a pot of coffee. I've got 4 hours left in the official Deweys, and I am going to try to stay awake long enough to listen to a couple more books. I wanted to just show you the 9th and 10th books that I listened to last night. This is one of them, Second Chance Romance, Melissa's Secret. This was actually the 10th book that I listened to, but it doesn't even really, I don't even really need to go and show you the other cover because it's the same. It's the same cover, Second Chance Romance, Laura's Secret. And this is by Cara Santabell. The other one is by Olivia Myers. I'm pretty sure they must be the same person because these were identical stories. I should have picked up on that clue when I saw the covers that they were identical, but I just thought they were maybe a series and somebody was, too lazy to get 2 different pictures. I don't know. And I don't even understand why these are both on here because they're really the same story, just with the names changed and a couple of small details. So anyway, I didn't really enjoy them either. These are definitely not Christian books for sure. Very steamy and just kind of, I don't know, coarse and just not what I enjoy at all. And it's disappointing because I had been listening to all of these nice, sweet little novellas, and then I came across these, which I don't even remember how they got in my wish list. I think it was when I was looking for maybe a romantic comedy, but these are not comedies either. So I don't know. At some point, I found them when I was, going through categories, looking for something to listen to, and I thought, oh, those look nice, and they're short, but they were not really my cup of tea at all. So anyway, this one was an hour and 29 minutes, narrated by Amanda Fugate Moss, and then Melissa's Secret, I think, was a tiny bit longer, an hour and 40 minutes, and it was narrated by Kaya Sear. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move these off of they're still sitting here in my wish list because that was the easiest way for me to show them to you. And I've already taken them out of my library because I went ahead and put in the first 2 Christmas books that I wanted to listen to, and I have listened to those as well. So I've finished a total of 12 books now. One of them was a reread. I did go ahead and listen to, hang on, this is taking a while to load. Where is it? Sheriff Bride Christmas, The Inside Man. This is book 5 of the Sheriff Bride series that I was listening to earlier. And I had listened to this a couple years ago, and I didn't really get it. And it says when you are starting the book in the kind of like the prologue or intro that it does recommend that you read the other 4 books first, but that this could be read as a standalone. So that's why I went ahead and just listened to it as a standalone, but I disagree. I don't think it should be read as a standalone. I think you definitely need the backstory of the characters. This was more about one of the men in the story, one of the, I guess he was kind of a bad guy that they encounter, the sheriff girls encounter in, I think, the first book. And he eventually is kind of rehabilitated, and then, we've kind of come full circle, and now this is his romance. And so anyway, it was sweet, and I did enjoy it much more after having listened to the other books and knowing the characters. I think for this story, you really need the backstory of the characters because it's not long enough to really give you all those details in this book. So anyway, then the other Christmas book that I listened to is also part of a series that I've been reading, Christmas with the Colburns, an Uncharted novella. And that's because the series is the Uncharted series by Keely Brooke Keith. It's narrated by Kate Fisher. This is book 4 in the series. And there is one more that's on Audible, but it's not on Audible Escape. So I may try to find it on Kindle or something, and that might be a little better price than to buy it on Audible because I don't own the others. So I don't really want to own book 5 when I don't own the others. So I don't know. I might look and see maybe if it's on Kindle Unlimited or something. Do a free trial of Kindle Unlimited. Although I don't know. I think I've already done my free trial of Kindle Unlimited, so I probably can't do it again. I don't know. I am interested in finishing the series, so we'll see if I can find it anywhere so that I don't have to pay too much for it. But it is it's a good series about an uncharted land in a futuristic world, but they lead a very simple life. It reads like an old-fashioned book, so or kind of historical. Anyway, now I have started adding the other Christmas books from my wish list into my library. There's a few more that I haven't put on here because I need to delete the other 2. But I have Texas Christian Romance, Cocoa Courtship, A Christmas Masquerade, Christmas Wish, Miss Kane's Christmas. And then the ones I haven't moved from my wish list to my library yet are some by Teresa Ives Lilly that are from the Love Found series. Okay, I've got the others downloaded now, or added to my library. There are 4 from this Love Found series. It kind of reminds me of the There's another series I have a few of called Love Finds You In, and it, there's all these different places, that sound real kind of cutesy. Anyway, this is Love Found at Harbor in Maine, a Christmas romance. And then we have Love Found in the Snow. These are all by Teresa Ives Lilly. Love Found in Bandera, Texas, and then Love Found in another town in Texas. And I'm not going to try to say that. I'll have to listen to the audiobook and hear what it says. Then this other one I have here, it's the same picture, Texas Christian Romance, same author. I'm wondering if this is one of those times where it's really the same book and they have just maybe she's reworked it, changed the title. We shall see. So anyway, I'm probably going to start with these four and then continue on and see how many I can get done. I'm not going to obviously get very many of these done before 8 o'clock, but at that point, I'm going to do my Bible reading for the morning and then get dressed quickly because I need to be at church at 9, actually before then, so I may not be able to do this until 8. I may have to put these down and get my Bible reading done a little earlier because I have to go pick someone up and then get to church by 9. So I'll come back in the afternoon. If I don't check in anymore, I will check back in the afternoon and let you know how many I got done. And I may just keep vlogging until I get these finished. After these 10, I've got another 10. They're not as high of a priority as maybe a few of the others on my wish list, so I may reevaluate depending on how many I get done during this weekend. I may go ahead and move to the ones that are a little higher priority. So anyway, these look fun, and I am going to go start them. Okay, even though it's only a little after 4 a.m., I better get me a little bit of coffee to start waking up. It's time for another update. It is about 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. I think my last update was about 12 hours ago at about 4 this morning. And I did go ahead and listen to a little bit more. And between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m., I finished 2 more audiobooks for a total of 14 audiobook novellas for a total during the 24-hour Dewey's Readathon. And then I went ahead and started another one after 8 a.m. and I have not finished it yet because we've had, it's been a day. It's a Sunday, so we've been to church. We stayed a little bit after because there was a lunch and didn't get home till about 2 o'clock. And this morning, I also paused my audiobooks and long enough to read my devotional reading and things like that. So then after church, I got home and I thought, I think I'm going to film a video today. So I did. And in fact, it will have already gone up and been uploaded on my channel before this one. So you may have already seen it by this point. And it is my most anticipated new releases for fall and winter. And so check that out if you haven't already. There is a combination of cozy mysteries and historical fiction and a little bit of romance and even a science fiction. So there's 8 books total that I am super excited about that have either just come out or are coming out between now and February. So that is what I've been doing up to this point, is planning for that, preparing for that, and I did kind of fall down a little rabbit hole of watching a couple of videos on YouTube that didn't even have anything to do with BookTube. One was health related and one was animal health related. So anyway, we all fall down those rabbit holes. Anyway, how many times can I say anyway? But now it's time for me to get back to reading, listening to audiobooks. I have not done really much of my walking yet. I think I'm only at maybe like 1,200 steps for the day, and I need to get to 10,000. But Emily and I are the only ones home, so I'll probably take her for a short walk, and then I'll have to wait until either Randy or Katie get home. They're both at work today. Randy doesn't normally work on Sunday, but he got called in today. I think this is his first time since COVID to get called in for overtime. So that's pretty awesome. And then I'll hope to do more walking after they get home. I may not get my 10,000 steps in today, but we shall see. So that's my update for right now. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the last 2 books that I finished early this morning to make a total of 14 for the actual Deweys. And then I'm going to continue this vlog a little bit longer until I get through a few more of these short novellas. One of the books that I finished early this morning is called Love Found in Bandera, Texas by Teresa Ives Lilly. This was 1 hour and 42 minutes, and this little book packed a pretty big punch. I was really impressed with it. It has to do with forgiveness and redemption, and it all revolves around a really tough situation. So I was really impressed by this book, and I thought it was very good. It was narrated by Marianne Carlson, and I would recommend it. It was a Christian book, and I thought it was very good. And the other one that I have finished either at some point during the night is called Love Found at Harbor Inn, Maine, A Christmas Romance by Teresa Lilly. I'm assuming Teresa Lilly is also the same author as Teresa Ives Lilly. Narrated by Stephanie Quinn, 2 hours and 30 minutes. And this one didn't blow me away, but it was okay. It was pretty good. I think that there is a duplicate of this same book, but by a different title, also in my wish list, that's called Cup and Cake by the same author. So I'm not sure why it's on here twice, but if you look at the descriptions, they look identical. So if so, then that's going to be kind of good for me, because that means I can eliminate the other one off my list without having to spend another, 2.5 hours listening to it. So, or, I'll probably start it and see if it's the same, because it could be a sequel. Maybe it just looks the same, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So Love Found in Harbor Inn, Maine is what I listened to, and it was okay. So, I didn't hate it, but it didn't blow me away. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here and end this video with this clip. I had filmed one other clip earlier. It is now late Monday night, and when I tried to add the clip that I filmed earlier today, where I talked about what I've been reading since Sunday evening on through today, Monday, Video Shop said that made my video too long and it would not accept that last clip. So hopefully by making this one shorter, I can go ahead and add this in and finish off this vlog and get this uploaded. I hope you found this interesting, and if you didn't, I'm sorry. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for your patience and for all your support. And let me know if you have read any of these books, or if you participated in Deweys and what you read, or what you've been up to, what you've been reading this past weekend. So for now, that is where I'm going to leave this. What I'm showing you is Miss Kane's Christmas by Caroline Mickelson. This was probably my favorite book that I listened to today. It was super cute, and I think it would make a good Hallmark movie. It may already be one, who knows. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave off here with Deweys and what I have read this past weekend. It was fun, and I didn't get everything done, but I didn't expect to. So I hope you will stick with me, come back for my next vlog and my next video, and I will see you soon. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.